It sure is fun hunting with somebody you get along really well with and someone who shares the same values as you do.
So as Matt and I talked about our 2012 season before it even started during the summer, one of the things that we wanted to prioritize this year, particularly in October, was time spent with family. We decided that we were going to cut back on the times that we went out into the woods in October. Both of us have young kids at home, so we wanted to make sure that we were spending quality time with our families, going to church with them, being active during that time.
My summers get pretty busy as well between coaching baseball, running, coaching cross country. I try to spend as much time with our family as possible because, as Caleb said, spending time with the family is something that we definitely want to invest in. It reaps rewards that are far greater in life than anything else that we can do. As many years as we've run trail cameras, this is the year that we've had the biggest number of bucks and the most number of large bucks on camera. So even though Caleb and I had it in our minds to take October easy, we were really being tempted to get out in the woods. Late October had us hunting a new property where we had the most amount of big buck picks, and it was my turn to hunt on October 28th. Oh yeah! October 28th, here we come. Trying out a new farm or two, we're not sure yet. Heading south. Picked Caleb up a release at Shields. Said he needs help. Said he hit one way back last year or something and he blamed it on the release. And I'm here to help him. That's an old-fashioned manure spreader right there, baby. It was Willie Nelson spreading manure. As we checked the trail camera when we entered the field, we had a new buck on camera that we called the Fork G2. It was a big 5x4 or 5x5 frame with a huge split on its right side. We were definitely excited about this new deer. It's about 4:15 and we just got set up here. We got the right tree and just kind of observe and see what happens out here tonight. So. Looks like the mornings are best right now, though, so we'll see what happens. It wasn't long after the does came out that the split G2 decided to show up. A very nice buck that we were very excited about. He chased the does around. He ended up going back in the timber, raking some trees. I tried to call him across, but I just couldn't get him to come across. The only thing that could get him to come across the CRP was two bucks that decided to show themselves just to the north of us. I'm not sure what to think. I think we're in the right area. Just gonna get him run past our tree. What a great night. I think we're gonna close her down here pretty quick. So, to be continued, baby. We'll figure some stuff out. The next weekend was going to offer us a 3-day weekend to hunt, and we were very excited. Well, I was pretty excited until I found out early Monday morning that my Uncle Mel had suddenly passed away from a blood clot in his lungs. My uncle, my grandpa, and my dad had taught me how to hunt. I grew up hunting and deer hunting with them. And Uncle Mel always talked about the big one. There was always the big one around the farm, and everybody had always got a chance to see it, but nobody ever got a chance to shoot it. So as Friday rolled around, I was definitely after the big one after the funeral. I was after that one elusive buck that was going to walk by my tree stand that I could claim in honor of my Uncle Mel. Friday morning, Caleb was up and the movement was pretty slow. We had a couple small bucks come past the stand, so we decided to make a move to go after the fork G2 that evening, Friday night, across the CRP where we knew he had come out.
That is the extent of the excitement this evening. It's been pretty slow going.
So as we finished up the hunt that night, we decided to hang that set so we could slip into the stand on Saturday, November 3rd, and hope for the best. November 3rd, Caleb Mason and I are heading back down south to the same field that we hunted last night. And we saw 3 or 4 bucks out there last night, and we're hoping that, similar to about a week ago, that a doe will pull a nice buck past our stand this morning. The morning of Saturday, November 3rd had the makings of any big buck day. It was kind of dark and gloomy, had that east wind that just kind of constantly blew, and the air kind of felt heavy, as if something could appear out of nowhere at any given time. It wasn't too long that a doe crossed right in front of us, and she did exactly what we wanted to. She went and bedded upwind where we could possibly have a live decoy in front of us.
Spotted a giant buck across the CRP, and we're deciding whether we need to rattle it and we want to spook that doe, because if he checks that doe, he might come along here. So we're set up across the CRP, the same spot we actually saw the fork G2 buck the other night. So we're just hoping something comes through here. Searching, cruising. So dang. They're already on their feet. We're in the right area. I don't know if we'll be in the right spot or not. Well, that's a chance you take with rattling. We thought the coast was clear and there's a small buck that took off running. I guess he didn't want any of this. He didn't want any of this. Just spotted a doe, came out along that creek. So she looks like she's looking behind her, but we don't see anything. So you never know. She just took off. Here he comes. Here he comes. Get the camera on him. Here he comes, Caleb. Here he comes.
It all happened so fast. The doe popped out, she was looking behind her, and sure enough, here come the buck. Caleb immediately recognized that buck as the split G2 buck, and he checked her, and he was on his way towards us before we even could get the camera on him. Wouldn't you know it, everything was going perfect until he cut into the timber and I had 0 shooting lanes behind me. I kept checking for lanes, but I couldn't find any, and he was closing in fast. He stopped and made a scrape, and finally I found an opening about the size of a soccer ball, and I quickly ranged it, and I got 40 yards through my rangefinder. Merp, merp.
Nope.
Merp.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think it was good hit, wasn't it? I mean, I saw a lot of blood coming out. We didn't cut anything. We didn't cut any lanes back here. So I was kind of cut down, and he stopped a half foot short of my lane. So as soon as he started walking, I had to merp him again. I had him at 40 yards. That's why I put my 40-yard pin right on him, centered him. But I had one hole about that size. Caleb and I knew, I mean, this is... I don't even know what to say. Can you believe it? At least he ran towards the truck. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? He circled all the way around here and came up. Thank the good Lord above, baby.
I was pumped for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons was that I just knew that, quote unquote, the big one had just walked past our stand, that we had placed a great shot on it. I knew it was a buck that my Uncle Mel would be very proud of, and so I'd like to dedicate this buck in his memory. We're gonna get down, we're gonna check out the area, we're gonna clear some lanes because it's so thick back here. Let's go find that buck. We'll go pick up a blood trail and hopefully do some celebrating at the end of the blood trail. So. This last Monday, my Uncle Melvin died, and my dad and my Uncle Melvin and my grandpa showed me how to hunt. And they took time and invested into my life and showed me how to hunt at a young age. And they taught me about the ethics of hunting. And my uncle passed away on Monday suddenly of a blood clot in his lung. Shocker to the family. This one goes out to my Uncle Mel. This is one he would definitely call, quote unquote, the big one. So. Caleb and I couldn't be more pleased. Thank my best friend for coming out with me, and a lot of things had to come together, and they sure did, and we are thankful. Wow, I couldn't believe everything came together like that. What was the chance that that deer was gonna walk through a soccer ball size opening at 40 yards? I don't know what the chances are, but I also know that I'm not in charge and I'm not in control, and at any given time, God can do whatever he wants. At that time, he decided to have that deer walk through that opening because he desires that glory. He desires to have all the credit, all the glory. And I think that's where we need to give the credit here. All we can do is try to let God tell a story through our lives. And if we don't play that story, if we don't act out that story, nobody can, because God only made one of us. And so it's no different with anybody else watching this video or anybody else's lives. God wants to tell a story through your life. He has a great story to tell through your life. And I just encourage you to seek him out, and hopefully he can tell that story through your life and make a difference in the lives of others.